Hey ladies, welcome to Fortitude Performance. So today we're going to talk about um, getting off the diet merry-go-round for busy professional women. So first up we have to set what is good nutrition? And I think that good nutrition involves being able to improve your health, being able to improve performance, and good nutrition should be able to help you in hitting your body composition goals, so toning and shaping. So what is the diet merry-go-round? The diet merry-go-round it's a cycle. So it's the idea of being on a diet, having success or failure with that diet, and then either doing one of two things. One, you'll go to eating ad libitum, which is just eating freely, so there's no real structure, there's no real tracking. Or you'll get into the cycle of moving on to another better diet. For today, we'll define success or failure with your diet being whether you achieved your body composition goals. So what is the journey like when most of the ladies first start dieting? So we've broken it up into 4 categories. The first one you'll be told is just eat less. Then, usually, if that stops working for you, you'll be told, well, there's good foods and bad foods, and your diet should be based on them. If that stops working, you'll then be told to eat certain foods in large amounts. And then another type of diet that a lot of people will do is one that has a complicated set of rules for eating while still telling you, oh, you can eat all you want. Now, moving forward, is there a better way? And yes, there is. And this better approach involves flexible dieting and real dieting. So flexible dieting is more your mindset. So borrowed from the book A Guide to Flexible Dieting by Lyle McDonald. The basic idea of flexible dieting is that you aren't expecting absolute perfection and strictness in your dieting behavior. Rather, small or even large lapses from your diet simply aren't any big deal in the big scheme of things. So this is probably a bit of a very different mindset to what a lot of people carry into their dieting. Now, real dieting. This is also something that Lyle discusses in his book, and I really love the concept. This is in practice. In practice, you should know that for your dieting to be successful, it has to consist of counting calories, weighing and measuring food, and paying attention to macronutrient intakes. Now, this approach for a lot of people can make things harder, and for a lot of people it can raise the anxiety levels of people. But you have to realize if your goal is simple in nature and you're achieving success with it, then just eat less. And we can do that easily. But once we start getting into these 2, 3, or 4, that's where a lot of us could be just wasting time. That's why the benefits of having the principles of counting calories, weighing and measuring food, paying attention to macronutrient intakes, give you 3 main benefits, which for most people will take them off the dieting merry-go-round. And that is having control, being aware of your actual food intake, and when things aren't working or you're not achieving your body composition results, you're able to troubleshoot the issues without having as much guesswork involved. Cool. So here we've got one of our champion clients, Amanda. So Amanda's about 25 to 30. Before she started training, she lifted weights before. She had used a PT before. She's a professional, so she works within an office environment. her initial eating was probably structured a little bit more. The two things that sort of stood out was she was more of a clean eater, so probably foods were considered good or bad. Um, and she was also good during the week and blowouts on the weekend. Some of the successes that we had with her, Amanda, were so she was eating clean all week and blowing out on the weekend, setting up a bad cycle of feeling guilty and not getting anywhere. One of the changes we've made were change the mindset of good and bad foods and focus more on eating consistently day to day and coming up with plans of attack for the weekend. Next up, she was not eating enough protein. So we used a combination of finding recipes and using a meal planner to make sure that Amanda was prepared ahead of time. Next up, no longer dieting to lose weight all the time. This is a big one. So working together, we planned times that Amanda would focus on fat loss, maintaining results, or gaining muscle, all which require much different calorie and macronutrient goals. Yeah, obviously times with food were obviously enjoyed on the way, along the way a lot more. But by breaking it down and realizing that we're not always going to be dieting, that can be like the biggest mindset shift for someone looking to get off the diet merry-go-round. So final thoughts and something to think about. From the top, think that the current way that you're dieting, does it make you healthier? Does it improve your performance? And does it help you reach your body composition goals, so toning and shaping for the long term? Um, Remember that if you take a flexible dieting approach with your mindset and a real dieting approach in terms of having control, measuring your actual food intake, and being able to troubleshoot with that information, long term, you'll find yourself no longer having to ride the diet merry-go-round. All right, thanks again and see you soon.